And those are other ones that are currently here, and we have had other ones that, you know, were hired and stayed on then. But that is, you know, like the kind of like brochure to bring fellows in, which that program is actually no longer in existence.
All right.
But,
Cool.
Thank you. A little bit of background on it. This, now, you probably may have seen this, but this gives you a little bit of information on, you know, the outreach program.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, because it is actually part, you know, of the academy as far as, you know, how the state, you know, the whole academy was established because, you know, with the students, of course, in residence, and then the outreach programs, which provide educational opportunities for both, you know, teachers and students within the whole state.
All right. Thank you. In your own words, how would you describe the mission of the outreach program?
Well, probably just, you know, basically what I said. You know, we're here to offer anything that is needed by, you know, teachers and students within the state. It may not necessarily be free, but we have offered free things in the past. Of course, we have our distance learning program, which is, you know, for students, and it also actually provides assistance to teachers that may not have experience and training to teach maybe like, you know, AP classes for the most part, probably. And then, of course, we have our AP Summer Institute, the workshops for teachers in the summer.
Right. Okay. Thanks. I think this should be a good start. I'll be back when I need more information. I'm not entirely sure where everything is headed right now.
Okay.
But
well, I don't know if you're aware that the very first year that the academy was in existence, since, you know, we only had juniors that year, we only had the south half of Wagner Hall.
was the other half like?
It was Ball State students. Yeah. And they actually had, you know, when you came in the front doors, the ones on the left were for the academy, and the ones on the right were for Ball State. And so they had, you know, the Jeep Hall Lounge, and then that, even the front desk was, you know, there was a wall in there that split that. And so, you know.
It's so
yeah,
strange.
and see, I mean, we were really like crammed in there because, you know, we had all, you know, the office staff, you know, with administrators. The teachers had offices upstairs on the second floor, and then of course there were, you know, the students and SLCs. Actually, they were not called SLCs at that time.
RAs? RAs?
No, maybe they were just residence hall counselors. I think it was, you know, residence hall counselors.
Wow.
Yeah.
Things
So,
change so
And
much.
we had one large copier for the whole deal. And of course, with the first year and, and really to start off with, I don't even think either there were textbooks that maybe weren't even there yet, or maybe some of the faculty decided, they had, material that they needed to copy, but, the faculty, of course, they needed to make a lot of copies,
Yeah.
and, of course, that thing, every time you turned around, it was broke down,
Yep.
because it was just being, used and abused so much.
Yeah.
And I had, you'll see on that last comment on number 5 that I said, it was my first time to really use a computer, and I was learning, and it was really a nightmare, and so because really, I had just always used a typewriter, and I had used typewriter a ton, but this is what our lists look like as far as for our distance learning sites, with the schools and then the courses that they were on, and then the facilitator out at the school and stuff. And this is one that I had used for where we were doing a meeting, so that's why it's kind of marked up. But so
Wow.
we went from that to, of course now it's all set up in a database.
Yeah.
And so it's really, nice and easy, but I had to do this actually, I think on I don't know if I did it on typewriter or computer, but because we were pretty much using used stuff that was like, taken out of offices at Ball State that
Low quality.
Really, yeah, there wasn't much life left in it. So anyway, but
Oh, wow.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank
So
you.
I don't know. Did you have any other questions for me?
At the moment, I suppose not, but I will later, I'm sure.
Okay. So when are you supposed to complete your?
It's actually ongoing throughout the whole year.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. And later, like, it's gonna be a class for the next couple years or so, until I think the 25th anniversary. So we hope to have compiled the history by then. So it's all student work, and hopefully it works out.
Yeah. Have they made you aware of the other people other than myself that have been here since the beginning?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Mr. Watson, Mr. Stewart's been here, right?
Yeah. And Vicky, yeah. And, Mindy John. Yeah. There's a few other ones other than that too.
Mm-hmm.
So like, are you interviewing like other people in other different types of positions?
Yeah, all the students are interviewing other students about like their experience here at the academy, and then we each have different domains. Like some people have residential life, or like I have outreach, faculty, administration, that kind of thing. So we're all interviewing different staff members. So it's a fun experience.
We've had some various grants over the years, and so also some involvement with like funding from foundations, and that was most of that was for where one of my previous, like it was actually my original boss, started doing electronic field trips. I don't know if you've heard about those.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. And they're of course like no longer in existence, but they would, go like on location and take a filming crew and everything. It was a live broadcast, and I don't know if every time, but a lot of times they would take a few academy students, and then they would have some students from like either the Burris school or another school that was maybe a school closer to the area where they were doing the field trip. But that was really a pretty neat program. But back to like our distance learning. These schools that were originally, have you ever been in the distance learning and in any of the distance learning classes? Well, you probably may know where the studio classroom is over in Burris.
I've passed it a few times.
Yeah. And see, originally, all the broadcasts were just live broadcasts, and they were then it was on a satellite type deal through iHeads, which is down at Indianapolis, and so some schools could get a broadcast like that, and other ones couldn't. So if they couldn't, then we had to have VHS tapes produced, and they were copied over at the Ball Communication Building. So we would have to go over there and pick them up, bring them back, check them, mail them out, and then the schools would, view them and then send them back, and then they'd be, recycled because, there's broadcasts typically at least 3 times a week, because, like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thursday was kind of a, depending on the type of course, it might be a lab day or tutorial, but not always a broadcast on that day. So I always used to have a lot more like Ball State students working for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you charge for the VHSs, or was that just like part of?
Well, you know what? Actually, originally, when we started this program, I'm not even sure there was a charge for it. And then later on, we did start charging the schools for this, but we kind of needed to get started. And of course, there was the funding from the state and stuff to help with that in the beginning, but I think we did later on because with needing extra employees, and you have to check the tapes to make sure that they're okay before they go out, since a lot of times they're recycled.
Yeah.
And of course, there's always human error possible as far as that. But yeah, and of course now, if we have a school, of course these classes are on the high-speed internet, and they're archived, so you don't have to worry about if it's like a 9 o'clock class, having all the schools in the state that want this course being there, in front of a computer, or a big screen or something where they're showing it. They can access the archive on the screen.
Right.
So have you ever taken an online course?
I have once, but it was mostly just like writing correspondence, so it wasn't any videos.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I think if you would go into check like the history of high school courses and maybe even college courses that have been, where they started the online type thing, ours probably were, more so like top of the line because I know I saw some now, and this was from, a number of years ago, where, it was I think a college professor in a classroom, and, it was what we called can, and it was like, jerky, the frames are all jerky, and, so, and of course the voice, was kind of like that too, so, it really detracted from
Mm-hmm. From the learning experience.
from the whole thing.
Because you're so busy focusing on like the jerky movements, you can't actually listen to what they're saying.
Yeah. So, and I think we have excellent instructors for our
Yeah, I would agree.
courses.
I really like the teachers here.
So, if I can help with anything more.
All right, thank you. I think that's